Sir, how are you doing this? Before you say anything, sir, I gotta give you your roses real quick, ladies and gentlemen. Let me stop the music right here. We got the legendary, the iconic. They call him the Prince of Gospel Music. I don't understand how or why. John P. Key was born on June 4th, 1962, Durham, North Carolina. At an early age, he began developing his musical talent both instrumentally and vocally. He attended the North Carolina School of Arts in Winston-Salem, and at 14, he and his brothers Wayne and Al moved to California, where he began attending the Yuba College Conservatory School of Music in Marysville, California. During this time, he began playing with various groups such as Cameo, Donald Byrd, and the Blackbirds. In the mid-1980s, Key formed a community choir in Charlotte known as the New Life Community Choir. In 1990, Key founded a Victory and Praise Music and Art Seminar Mass Choir, or VIP, to fellowship with various ministries, songwriters, musicians, and choirs directors from all over the country. In 1995, while ministering in Ohio, he received a prophetic vision and went forward with the building of a fellowship center in Charlotte, which he could minister to the people in the community. He officially founded the New Life Fellowship Center, where he became and remains the senior pastor. Facebook family, please give me those hearts, give me those likes right now for the one and the only Pastor John P. Key. Sir, let me get you unmuted. How are you doing this afternoon, sir? First and foremost, happy birthday to you, sir. Happy birthday to
Thank you.
Happy birthday, sir. I'm glad that you chose me to sit down with you on this afternoon, sir. Like you're eating real good, sir.
I'm getting in my I'm great, man. Let me say this. I'm just honored to be able to share, man, another birthday, hey, man, with some real people. You hear me?
Listen, I'm honored to have you here. I'm excited. I'm thoroughly excited about this opportunity to be here. Now, the first question that I want to ask you, there's so much that you've done, that you do, but I'm gonna share something, man. And I just got a question. I want to know who this guy is right here. Let's go. Who is this guy?
I was about I was about maybe 8 or 9 months off that cocaine, but I was just coming in the door, and God bless me. That was one of the first projects we did, and I just thank him. That guy makes me reverence, amen, who I am today. So that was the early John P. Key with the early writings that still work on stage today too.
Hey, they still work on stage, and so I want to ask you, man. After all of these years of being in gospel music, being a pastor, being over a choir, working with so many different people, what drives you to continue doing what you do today?
I think holding on to authenticity. I mean, being in a position to not create a new profile. We now live in an age where people create new profiles every day. But being who you are, I think whenever you showed me that picture, it took me back. And now, what, 40 years later, I get it. I understand that I was commanded to be me. So I tell you, my drive is to continue to do what I do, don't conform, because people still enjoy it, they still embrace it, and they still tell me that it ministers to their heart.
All right, so you told me who that guy was. I want to know who this guy is right here.
That dude figured it out.
He figured it out.
That dude by that time he figured it out. Colorblind, that project still works today. Colorblind was revolutionary, not just in the gospel, but in the early '80s and '90s R&B. I got ripped real hard off that record. A lot of singers, and they admit it. You know what I mean? From R. Kelly down, people would grab songs from that project and flip them, whatever. But the vocal style I hear or I heard back then, I was like, ah, it's something I did. Or run out of here, interval. So that guy figured it out, and people embraced it. And Colorblind still works today.
Okay, so I do want to ask you that. I said earlier that I found it notated that you were the prince of gospel music. In your opinion, if you are the prince, who is the king of gospel music? If you're not,
King of gospel. I think the kings are gone.
the kings.
I,
So
I think the
would you?
kings left a legacy. Say it again.
Who would you label as a king? Who were your gospel influences?
Rance Allen, definitely. Rance Allen, and he's gone on to be with the Lord, but everybody knew he was like my godfather. And there'll never be another. To me, to establish that king status, nobody can come behind you. And Rance Allen, nobody, if you know somebody, holler at your boy. Nobody can come behind him. Yeah, because Rance revolutionized the vocal style, and everybody doesn't give him credit. I'll get in trouble for saying this, but your Marvin Winans, your Fred Hammonds, your John P. Keys, your Said I Wouldn't Make It guy. I mean, everybody listened to that style and created a vocal. I just believe that. I just believe that with all my heart.
I agree. And so I want to ask you this. I never knew until I never knew until I did my research that you worked with or was in bands like Cameo and Colorblind, or not Colorblind, but the Birds. I want to know, what was that like being, and how did that influence your writing and your music ministry?
Well, Donald Byrd had a jazz symposium. He was traveling around to all the black colleges. And that's how I got the hookup, because my brothers and a guy that plays bass and works real close with Tyler Perry in his music organization by the name of Ronnie Garrett. These guys were older than me, but they saw something in me and gave me those Aaron Mills, the bass player for Cameo right now. I was getting jobs. And let me tell you the real truth. I never get a chance to really tell this story. Me hooking up with those bands and those groups was a free ride back to North Carolina. So I jumped right in on the tour. I was 14, 15 years old, jumped in on the tour set. There was a band, Fun. There was a band called NCCU from North Carolina Central University. And people were swapping members then. You know, the drummer can't make it, we get a drummer from that group. Keyboard player, Keith Cotton, you know, we'll get Lil John, you know. So I was getting jobs like that. And I held down some real good jobs back in my day. Phyllis Hyman, a killer vocalist. I was her music director for the NCO clubs, and I was 15 years old, shouldn't have even been in a club. So I got some great experience. I worked with Peter Frampton, the first tour he did from Carolina out to California. So I got a chance to get my feet wet real good at a young age. And if I had been a little more disciplined, I would have took more advantage of that.
All right, I only got a few more minutes with you. I want to know who this guy is right here.
That's Big John. Yeah, that's about 140 pounds ago. By then I was done. I'm not gonna say I was through. It's funny about that night in that video, because everybody says, "Oh, they gave him a Stellar. Look at him cry. He's crying." I was never crying about the Stellar. My sister Sheila's body had been healed from cancer, and I hadn't really seen her sing on stage in years. And when Sheila Lakin walked out on that stage, it took me away, man. So yeah, that night was really good. I'm honored that the Stellars did recognize me, but that was never about the Stellar Award as much as it was about my baby Sheila Lakin.
Two things. Shout out to her, man. She's an incredible person, man. She handles the business to a T, man, and she made this whole process so
Man, she ain't nothing, man. I'm about to fire her.
She made this whole process so seamless, man. So shout out to her. There was something else that you said that I want to kind of address. A lot of people who do what you do and been doing it for as long as you do, they don't necessarily receive the accolades and the credits and the awards that they should. That we think. I was going over your Grammy, your Billboard list, and I was looking at these numbers. I'm like, this man has changed the face of not even just gospel music, but of Christendom. You know what I'm saying? The kingdom. In your mind, how do you handle or address when you don't feel like you get what you deserve?
I really thought that I made it out would have at least got a Grammy nod, because everybody sang it. It stayed on the charts for a minute. It was the anthem coming out of COVID. But you have to work to not expect that. You know, I've never been a producer. If you look at the Life in Favor project, if you look at the Not Guilty project, that's a good example. I think we got a Grammy nod for Not Guilty. If you look at those projects, I never produced a project that one song stand out. I've been in the studio with some named artists, I won't call their names, where they work on one hot song, everything else is a filler. I can't do that. So I think you do it to when I hear people, and let me tell you something, I got the worst memory in the world. People come up to me, yeah, man, I love that song. When you were saying how God da 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 da, and I'm like, hey, yeah, that's what he did, you know. So you have to be in a position to understand your purpose. So it keeps me in check. There's some things, our projects I thought should have, Life in Favor should have at least got a
Definitely.
Grammy nomination. You know, so
My story.
Oh, I got it playing in the background. I'm ready,
You already
Pastor.
know.
I'm ready. This is my favorite out of all of your songs, man. The remix to this is my favorite, but oh man, I love it. I absolutely love it.
one of the cool things about that song, let me tell you a little secret.
Go ahead.
When I wrote that song, I wrote the hook first. And writing the hook first, I knew that song would captivate and touch lives because everybody got a story. Yeah.
Here we go. Last person I want to ask you about, and we're going to get into what's happening right now, and I got to let you go because I know you got to go. Who is this guy right here?
That's a ex-drug dealer. Now, in real talk, that's a guy that God delivered, man, to do what he does. And I embrace it. I won't run from it. I've been talking about, for some reason, I may need to teach about it Sunday. We got the wrong definition of sanctification. They told us sanctification meant stay away from people, when in fact it meant run from sin. But if you run from sin without going to something, without the spirit of purpose and going higher, elevating, you'll run back to sin. So that's the guy that figured out, you know what, God has commanded me to do something, and I'm gonna be solid, I'm gonna be real, I'm gonna be 100 until he comes back again.
Okay, so I'm gonna read this stuff out, man, and then this is my question: how do you have the time to do tours, movies, wedding projects, church choir projects, worship projects, duet with Tasha Cobb, the 10 women, 10 project, victory project, fishing, being a pastor, re-entering to the sanctuary, recording industry, the Ransom Allen project, your NC connection to George Floyd, Let Me Breathe project. How do you have and be so active on IG? How do you do it?
Sheila Lakey, that's my boss, man. Sheila makes it happen. I'm in transition really right now. Even in housing, I want to get back to the lake so I can just fish. When I fish, I'm a better man. I'm a better person. So Sheila can hear me. That's what I'm saying all this, you know. I need a brand new house on the lake. But yeah, I got my infrastructure is intact, man. I don't give them the credit they deserve. From Jeanette Taylor to Sheila Lakey, my sons to my engineers, they keep me in check, and that's a good thing. So I don't have to wake up and decide what I'm going to do. I'm structured really good. You know, the Instagram is about promoting the brand, letting people stay in touch. So when I do drop, I don't have no problems. If the record companies never want to pick me up, and that's not the issue, they're knocking on my door. But if they never want to do anything, I think I have a solid social network that I can make. I got access to you now. That's a whole nother element of touching lives and people. So
Yes, sir.
I take it serious. I don't take it for granted, but I appreciate all they do.
Absolutely. The last 3 simple questions, and you should be able to knock these right out. First question: of all projects, of all songs, if you could think, which is your favorite?
Standing in the need of prayer. Standing in the need of prayer.
I would have never imagined that. Standing in the. All right. Second question. While we play this in the background. Second question: of all gospel artists that are out now, so many tremendous artists, phenomenal artists doing their thing. In your opinion, I know you said once King's gone, no one can replace them. If you're the Prince, no one can replace you. But if you had to choose, who would you choose to be that up and coming person, or that person that's there like right now? Male or female?
I know I jumped on the fence just now. Man, it'd have to be Leandra, man. Leandra got something nobody else has. I don't care what you think about her, what you like about her. Leandra has something, and right after her would be Zacardi.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna play just a little bit of that in the background. And my final question: of all the projects that you're working on right now, that's either in the hole to be released, that you're releasing, or will release at a later date, which one is most dearest to you?
Rance Allen, the Rance Allen project, the Legacy project. And I want you to stay in touch with Sheila because I want to send you some music to check out before it comes out.
Yes, sir.
I'm excited about that project, man. I put my feet in it. Everybody's on it too. Fred just knocked his track out. Jason Nelson is on it. Quite a few people have embraced that project, even musicians. I'm super excited about that project because he meant so much, to all of us, and to be able to tell him thank you, that legacy. I think a brand new audience is going to embrace this project, and it's going to be something major.
Man, that is phenomenal. Let everybody know how they can find you, follow you, and get in touch with you. Let them know that right now.
Hey, listen, you can follow me on Instagram, Keetwit, KEETWIT. Look, it's my birthday week. We're going to be blessing people randomly. Facebook, Pastor John P. Key Official. Yeah, Pastor John P. Key Official. It's a Facebook page. And Pastor John P. Key. Is that right? Yeah. So, hey, look, you can find me. My Instagram, blow it up. Hey, listen, I need about another 500,000 folks before I do something major. But look, I told them when I get to 1 million followers, I'm gonna give away a house or stuff.
Hey, please make it.
I'm excited. Thank you for hanging out with me. And it's good to be able to be interviewed by somebody that did their research. I appreciate you, man.
Absolutely, sir. I got to do this for you, man. It's your birthday. I play this for everybody's birthday. My daughter and my wife, they're here. My daughter says, hey, she loves you. Come here, come say hey real quick while I'm doing this, man. But she's in the back. Can you see it? You see, that's my daughter.
Hey, beautiful. Hey, beautiful. I'm Uncle John.
He said he Uncle John.
Hey, Uncle John.
You're always looking for some incredible artists. My wife, she's a psalmist, man. She here, but she don't want to sing. She's scared, but I'm going to play this for you right here. It's your birthday, Pastor John P. Key, and we love you at Wiggles World Network, the home of the young warm tip, but necessary opinion. Thank you so much, Pastor, for being a part of the Wiggles World Network. Take care. Have a blessed day. We appreciate you,
bless you, man.
so much. Pastor John. Have a good one, sir.
All right, buddy.
Ladies and gentlemen, man, thank you so much for tuning in with your boy Wiggles right here on Wiggles World Network, home of the young woman tip, and that's every opinion. That's right. It was me and your boy, Pastor John P. Key, a.k.a. Uncle John, was in the building with your boy. Y'all do somebody good, somebody will do you good. Keep God first, never less. We out of here.